All right, good morning, guys. So we're running pretty late today. It's 6:38. I should have already been done hitting my top set today, but I did have to use like the restroom before I left my house, so that's my excuse for today. But no matter. So let's see what we have on the program for today. It's week 2, day 1. So let's see. Also, if you guys are hearing me talk really loud, it's because I'm right by the speaker. So I need to make sure that my voice is what is being captured on the camera for the file instead of the audio, because then I'm gonna have to delete my video and edit it because I'll get copyrighted. So today we have a double at 7. So 7s are typically moderately, they're like between easy and they're like right before you have to like try hard. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, honestly, that kind of gives a bad precedent because RPE 7s, like essentially when you have the mindset of giving everything 110% like effort, through that lens, it should make sense, right? So kind of adjust what I'm saying with what I just said. So our double at 7 with a top set of 7 at 7 with a 10% drop for the second set and then an additional 5% drop on the last set, right? But considering that I'm thinking about doing some of these sets beltless, maybe even sleeveless, I will adjust, right? So I'll probably do my first top set with belt and sleeves. I am using the soft sleeves for this block, next block, and then I'm gonna go back to the stiff sleeves for like the last 2 blocks going into nationals, just to kind of make training a little bit harder, really force my muscles to do a lot of the heavy lifting, right? Then a 3x6 with bench, but depending on how my shoulder feels. I think last week I just worked up to 2 reds. So if I can do like 2 reds yellow, that'll be perfect. And then we have seated cable roll for accessories, dumbbell RDL, and lying ham curl. So need to make sure I'm staying hydrated today to avoid those Charlie horses. But let's go ahead and get started, guys. But I know you guys can see them. Some crispy white Aerolux Pros. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start getting warmed up. Starting off with 2 reds. My shoulder / strap is still kind of bugging, but hopefully as we warm up, it'll feel a little better. Okay, this song kind of goes hard a little bit. No cappuccino. You know, in a way, me taking these 200-pound jumps from a relative perspective is pretty similar to people who like, you know, squat 500 and they take 45-pound jumps, right? They'll go plate up until 315 and then they'll like start adjusting, you know? Oh, and I didn't let you guys know, but so I kind of got like some tweaks right now. So my Achilles is tight. My shoulder from SPD Austin. Pec is still good, but I'm like 100% sure that my Achilles bugging is correlated to a bunch of the issues that I just have with my right leg, right? This is the leg I had surgery on. Don't feel too bad. All right, we'll belt up and put the sleeves up for 325/716. This will most likely be last warm up before we jump to our top double. Oh, almost forgot. Not a lot. I had my hands wrapped for a long time there. That kind of sucked. But the one way to get better, guys. The one way to get better. You guys know what's going on next. It honestly doesn't feel too bad. I just felt like I really had to stabilize. Whew. Just to make sure that I was going up and down symmetrically. Whew. And then that bar pulling on my shoulder. So I think whatever I strained was like from here to here, because whew, I feel it, baby. I feel it. But not too bad, not too bad. Just getting reacquainted. Whew. Okay, so that was 848 for 2 top set. Not bad, not bad. Whatever like mental progression I've been on lately, I feel like it's been so good. Cause honestly, this is probably the best week 1 or week 2 has ever felt. And honestly, all I did last Monday was, I think I worked up to 3 reds. I did a 1 set of 8 with 2 reds, and then I did 2 sets of 8 with 3 reds, you know? With 60-second rest periods, no sleeve, no belt. And then push Thursday, I'm actually strong on deadlifts. I don't feel like super bad. But I end up doing hack squat, you know? So all of this is kind of building and proving my hypothesis and methodology is correct, you know? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna drop down to probably 661 pounds, so 300 kilos. I'm gonna drop down to 300 keys. We'll hit that for, do I have 7s or 8? Let me check. Set for 7. So we'll do 300 kg for 7. You know, it's kind of crazy how doing sets of 7 with, I don't know, 30% prep my legs and my lungs to do this. Because normally I would feel like that acid build up in my legs and I would feel like gassed. But whew, from an in-shape perspective, I honestly feel like I'm already on my 2nd block. Pretty interesting. All right, I'm gonna drop the weight, but not record. Mic check, mic check. Okay. All right, guys, so this is like my 2nd set. My shoulder still feels a little wonky, but it does feel more secure. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to 150 kilos. I'm not gonna lie, I think that I'm benching on the stiff pad right now, but I think the stiff pad might be better than the soft pad. It just feels like, because on that stiff, so what started this train of thought is on this pad, I'm normally rack height 12 on the Lyco rack. Because on that pad, I sink like an inch into the pad. 12 feels better, but on the hard pad, 12 feels too short, right? Because when I'm coming up, I feel like I'm close to hitting my head, close to normal. So it's just like, I started to kind of analyzing, right? So honestly, I don't even know why, like what goes through a company's head when they make a change like that? Because a change like that does change your setup. And your setup is part of your technique. So if it changes your technique and your setup, then you kind of have to figure out how to essentially generate success on a different bench per se. I know it sounds dumb, crazy, but it's true, right? Especially at this level. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm just feel way better on the stiff pad right now because I'm able to like essentially hold a greater degree of tension and rigidness, and that just feels better for my shoulder right now. But let's hit the set for 5. Felt pretty good. I'm gonna do one more set at the same weight and not record it because we gotta keep moving. So for my accessories, I have a dumbbell RDL, but I'm gonna substitute that for barbell RDLs. And then I also have seated cable rolls. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll probably just go straight to 2 plates. And then after that, I'm also gonna finish each set with like a 10-second barbell hold or something. Another cool thing about these X-Master plates is that it doesn't matter what way you put them at. It's always the right way. I lost count. All right, barbell hold. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's go hit a set of seated cable roll. Whew. All right, gotta get an attachment. It was wide enough for my body. Also, somebody commented in my YouTube video, why do you go so light on your accessory movements? Brother, go squat 848 for 2, 660 for 7, and then go give it your, go PR your accessory set. Go do it. But it's all fun and games, you know. And I guess this would be a good time to, in greater detail, explain why. And long story short, man, the way that I see accessories, for the most part, is it's a secondary part of my workout. It isn't the primary, you know. It's not what requires like my Zanpakuto per se to accomplish. You know, like I don't have to go Super Saiyan to hit accessories. And plus, I already have so much muscle that the pursuit of progressing my accessories for hypertrophy is just, that's not my prerogative. That is not my objective. My objective for accessories is I am building strength and increasing support in areas that I don't train on my compound lifts. That's my objective. You know, that is my priority. You know, I don't give 2 damns about hitting 800 pounds for RDLs. Could I do it? Probably. But like that's just not my priority, bro. Like I don't know how old you are. You know, I don't know if you're a 16-year-old, like, bro, get into the gym, or if you're some old head, but you only have 100 points to give per training session, you know? My heavy lifts take a big chunk of it, and whatever I have left, I allocate evenly into the accessories that I have left. So kind of just, you know, look at it through my lens. You know, don't look at it from your perspective. You can't understand what I do from your perspective because you can't walk in my shoes. But I am telling you what it looks like from my shoes. And hopefully that it just makes everything make more sense to you guys. But let's hit this accessory. But don't get me wrong, like, just because you guys think it's light doesn't mean, or sometimes I do progress. Sometimes I do. When I feel there is a call and a need, I will push more into it. But I think you guys are so used to like seeing people hit the most amount of weight on the accessories, and that is like how you guys view strength. But in reality, you know, like, I'm doing 120 pounds and it just feels good, you know? And just look at the control. You know, I'm not ego lifting this, I'm taking my time, really focusing on my muscles getting that full stretch and that full contraction. Not that ego lift bull. This is how you get better, baby. Whew. Whew. All right, guys, so that's gonna be a wrap up for today's video.